I've been thinking about this for a minute, but I'm starting to realize that a lot of only children have a whole different perspective on life compared to like people with siblings. Like they just don't think the same, and not in the way that we typically hear, like, oh, if you're an only child, you're probably selfish, you're not used to sharing. Like, not in that way, but like in a more different way. Like, for instance, I've found that a lot of only children that I meet are not competitive at all. Like, they're just not competitive. They usually quit easier or like quit faster. And I'm not saying that in like a bad way, but as opposed to like a person who has siblings and you're used to competing with your siblings, or you're used to like competing for your parents' attention, or just something that small. Only like children, like that's not even a something in their mind. Like, I feel like they move through the world really like lackadaisy, like really like just whatever, with like no perception of like the other people around them. And like, it's hard to explain. Like, I feel like it's hard to explain, but like I know what I'm saying.
You're now listening to a Bobby Johnson beat. Hey, my main bitch and my savage man, bitch. I get too for. Rather hold me up on each of I need to go.
Tune in to Too Much Media.
Okay, guys, hey, welcome back to my channel, your favorite place to talk all things creative and self-mastery. Today I wanted to talk about the video, obviously, that I put in the beginning about only children, because honestly, the reason that this came to my mind to make a video about is because it just popped up on my TikTok feed. And I was like, this is actually kind of an interesting topic for me to delve into. And I'm on my evening stroll right now. That's why you just heard a car. Taking my little walkie walk. So I was like, it's the perfect time to kind of just chill with you guys and talk about some lighthearted topics and how I feel like being an only child has shaped my creativity and overall me as a person. Oh yeah, also, I'm on my walk right now, and I just want to put a shout out to my air fryer, because one thing I love about air fryers, like, this is something I love to do. I'll put something in the air fryer and just leave the house. Like, if I have an errand to run and I know I want to eat when I come back and I'm impatient, I'll put it in the air fryer, have that on the timer, and when I come home, my food is ready. It's the best thing ever. So I got my food on the air fryer. I'm on my walk. We get to chit chat. I mean, like, dang, this day is going great. Like, honestly, my fave thing ever. Shout out to the air fryers. But yeah, only children. Okay, so I'm an only child, but I feel like I'm not how do I say, like, regular only child, in the way of like most only children spend all their time being only, like being by themselves. And because I have such like a large extended family, I spent a lot of my childhood with siblings. So I really did kind of get the best of both worlds of, like, I consider my cousins to be my siblings, but at the same time, there are those moments where obviously I have to go home. Those were the saddest days. Like, those for me, like, my saddest moments in childhood was going home. Like, I'm like, oh, dang it, I can't stay. Get home, get to my room, close the door, like, oh shit, it's really just me. Like, I feel like I had best of both worlds with only child experience though too, because sometimes you get home and it's just you. And actually, I am a little bit grateful. Like, I've been spending all this time with my cousins, and I'm just like, whew, I kind of did need a break, bro. Like, it's kind of fun to get home and know that, like, I don't have to deal with anybody. I don't have to share with anybody. I don't have to ask anybody what they want. I don't have to, like, worry that, you know, like she was saying, like, that my parents don't have time for me. Well, sometimes they don't, but it has nothing to do with another child. So it's like, it's a different emotion, I guess, when your parents don't have time for you, but it's for something like they need to do that's serious, I guess. You can kind of like emotionally regulate, I guess, a little easier, rather than like jealousy you might feel as a kid if your parent is like spending more time with one of your siblings rather than you. And I also do feel like I did feel like sometimes when I would get home and I would be happy and I would like have a break from everybody and I know that like this isn't my time, it also made me kind of easier to be around when I am with my siblings, aka because of words have meaning, my cousins. But it was like when I was around my cousins and we did have to share and like we did have to, you know, I had to give them time with my aunts and uncles too, even if I wanted their attention, or I had to, you know, split this or that with them. It made me much like less having problems with that. Because, you know, when you're a kid, you kind of feel like the world revolves around you. I mean, some adults still think that too, but just to say, like, when you're a kid, it's like really kind of tunnel vision of like how the world actually works. So you take things way more personally when you don't get your way. Whereas like as an adult, you can kind of find more options to get your way if you don't get your way. But like as a kid, like if I wasn't getting my way when I was with like the rest of the family, it was kind of okay with me because I would just think in my head, well, you know what? It's okay for me to kind of like let go of having my way because when I get home, I can have my way. So it's fine. So it really just made me kind of like easygoing, I guess, being an only child, because it was just kind of like, I know if I'm not getting my way now, like I can still have my way eventually. I just have to wait. Like right now is not my time to have every little itty bitty thing that I want. But I'll have I'm used to having every little itty bitty thing that I want. So it's like, whatever. I don't care. You know, like most things, like someone takes something that I wanted, I don't care. I didn't get what I want, I don't care. Like I really was always kind of like also, I don't care stuff. Like I would bring all my toys and stuff with my cousin. That was another thing that I think being an only child helped me with, was because it made me easier to share, because what you realize when all the toys are yours and all the stuff is yours is it's not as fun without somebody to play with you with it. So it was kind of like whenever I got stuff, I was excited to take it from my house and give it to people, or go to other family members' house so I could finally have another kid to play with me with those things. So for me, it was like, it made me easier to share, because I would take like, you know, my bike and like just let all of them use it. Or I would take like, I got a Wii at one point. So I would always just take it with me and let everybody play with it. Stuff like that. Because it was like when I would be home, I wouldn't play with toys. Like I stopped playing with toys, I think around 4 years old. And because I was just like, I lost interest. I was just kind of like, toys are kind of boring. I do think like being an only child kind of makes you a little bit more like prone to liking adult things rather than childlike things, because you spend so much time with adults. Since, you know, there's no other children in your house, it's like you're always with adults. So you're, you know, joining in adult-like conversation, and adult-like questions are being asked of you. So you're kind of, you know, better at like interpreting what is happening around you as far as what the adults are doing rather than what the kids are doing. If you see what the kids are doing, you're kind of like, yeah, that's that kid stuff. And what the adults are doing, it's like, yes, I have a point of view as well. Like, I feel like only children really speak like so eloquently, so like, like as if they're wearing a bow tie constantly, because it's like, that's what ended up like interesting me more rather than, toys and things like that. But then, like, I remember because I begged for like a Nintendo and a Wii and all these other stuff that I want, like, you know, little kid stuff. And then I would get it, and then I would play with it for a little bit, and then I'd be like, oh, it's kind of like, I can't even tell anybody that I'm good at this. So it was just like, when I would be around people and I got a chance to share my stuff with them, it was more fun for me, because I was like, yay, like now we all get to play. Like now this is more interesting, like someone to compete against in the games. someone to, laugh with when something goes wrong. Oh, this is a fun fact about my Wii. I remember for the longest time on my Wii, I could only play boxing because I didn't know how to get it to play tennis and golf. What are the other Wii sports games? There's like a bunch of other Wii sports games, but I couldn't get any of them to work. And I was just like, oh my God, so I could only play boxing for so long. It wasn't until one day and then because I was only playing boxing on there, I got bored quick because I was like, how much can one person box? Like, I done knocked all y'all out. Like, don't play with me, Mayweather in here. Like, come on. Matter of fact, Tyson. Like, you know? And then I remember one day I finally took my Wii to my cousin's house, and I found out it was because every single time I would get the Wii started, I always attached the second part, the thumb part of the second hand, because I just assumed that's how you put together the entire Wii. I would put together every single part of the Wii. And the whole time, the reason why I could only play boxing is I just needed to take off the other hand that was the boxing hand. And because tennis is a one-hand sport, golf is a one-hand sport, and I still can't remember what the other sports were. But all the other sports is a one-hand sport. You don't need the second part. So the Wii blocks it. If you have the boxing thing attached, you can only play boxing. That took me so long to figure out for no reason until I had other people to show me that. But I've never been a big video game person anyway. I think I just wanted it for the sake of like trying it. Like I'll try anything once, so if it looks interesting, I of course want to have it just so I can try it out. I might not be obsessed with it after, especially when I feel like I'm good at something. I'm quick to quit. That might be an only child thing too. Like, I don't know if I always have connected my willingness to quit quick to being a girl, a woman. But now that she said that, of like how she's noticed that a lot of only child children are quite lackadaisical and not competitive at all. I'm like, oh my God, what if that's the reason I'm like always so quick to quit stuff, that like I never care. The minute I think that I like in my head have it down, like I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Like I get the point. Like, yeah, I'm good at this. I'm like, no need to prove I'm good at it. I'm done. Like, that's how my head has always been. I remember when I was little, I was in soccer, and I was really good at soccer. I was like super good, but I hated soccer because I just felt like, oh my God, we play here for like an hour plus. By the end of this, the score is only like 2-2, 1-2, 3. Like, I need more going on than this. Like, this is like, no, I can't play this game of kicking a ball around to each other forever just to get one goal. Like, that's so silly to me, So that's why I hated soccer, because I think I just wasn't getting enough dopamine hit from it. I was just like, no. But I had to go because obviously, when you're little, your parents want you to be in activities, especially mine, because I'm an only child. So it's kind of like I needed to be in a lot of activities in order to fill up my time, which is also why I think like being an only child also didn't bother me, was because I had all my extended family that I was constantly with and constantly hanging out with. So I kind of had siblings, and at the same time, whenever I wasn't with them, my parents made sure I was constantly in activities. So my days were really, really full. By the time I get home, I'm too tired to realize I don't have a sibling. Like, I want to go to bed. So I think that also kind of helped, where it was just like my life felt quite fulfilled. So I was kind of okay with it or whatever. But I do realize, oh yeah, back to the soccer point of like, okay, so because of that reason, I had to play soccer. It wasn't really a choice, even though I kept saying like, no, I don't like soccer. I had to play. And I'm the type of person where it's like, if I'm there and I have to participate, I'm going to participate to my fullest and best ability, I'm not going to just come here and be lackluster. I'm going to give it my all. So I was really good at soccer, but I really just didn't like it. And I remember another reason I didn't like soccer was because I was really good at it. I was like, I get it. Like, I'm good. Like, I was like, yeah, I could knock this ball in the goal every time. Like, I don't need this. Like, let me go learn something that I'm actually not good at. Like, I'm more interested in doing things, which I think is a part of why I'm probably so creative. Like, I prefer doing activities that I'm not good at than activities that I am good at, because I know that when I'm good at something, I'll naturally just keep getting better. And like, it's more about my interest level. And if I want to do it in this moment, like, I'll get better as long as I keep doing it. But if I know that I'm good at it, like in my brain, I can kind of like register, okay, this is probably what it will take to be super good at it. This is how long it would take you to be like ultra good at it. This is what you would this is how much you would have to practice. And I'm okay with doing that if I'm interested. Like, if I'm really interested in something, I'll just sit there and I'll just keep getting better. I'll just keep doing it. I'll just keep doing it. But as soon as my interest is not in it, I'm kind of like, I don't need to get better at this. I get it. I'm naturally quite good, honestly. People, like, I'm getting feedback of being good at this. I don't need any recognition of being super duper ultra good at this. It's okay. Which I'm like, now that I notice that as well, I'm like, okay, like, I should take that into account of like why I'm such a jack of all trades, but a master of none, but still better than a master of one. Yeah, guys, that's the end of that saying. If you're someone out there who's creative and you're just really, really good at a lot of different things, but like not like, mastered at all of those different things, and you heard that saying of like jack of all trades, but master of none, the end of that saying is, but still better than a master of one. Like, being a jack of all trade is still better than just being a master of one. So don't let anyone make you feel bad about being good at a lot of different things, but not having one thing mastered down. There's no need for that. It's good to be well-rounded. It's good to be able to pick up anything and just naturally be really good at it, and just know that you're good at it and keep it pushing, which I do feel like is a more of an Americanized kind of point of view of like wanting to be a master at one thing and like not being recognized unless you're super ultra talented at only one like specific thing. Think of like Tiger Woods, LeBron James, all these prodigies that we glamorize, Simone Biles. I'm only naming athletes right now, but even like in like, the intellectual field, like, think of all these people. That's more like of an Americanized thing where we like really glamorize those type of people. But I do feel like Europeans, specifically Francophones, like, they're more impressed and like more, they enjoy more people who are cultivated in a lot of different ways and who can kind of join in on multiple different subjects and are really good at multiple different things all at once. Like, they respect more the well-roundedness of a human rather than the just one specific focused human being. I feel that's my perspective, but it's up to interpretation. But yeah, so like, I do feel as though now, and before when I was thinking, oh yeah, I was really good at soccer, but I didn't like it and I could tell I was good at it, so I didn't feel like I needed to keep going to prove it to anyone. I was thinking that was more of a girl trait, whereas they'll say like, how they'll say like, oh, men, if you show them how to make money, like in one way, they'll just keep going on that one way to make money until they're like a multi-millionaire. Like, they take stuff that they're good at and people are giving them positive feedback on, and they hone in and they go super crazy. I was thinking, and then how girls are more like, even if you compliment them and they feel like they're getting positive feedback for being good at something, if they don't like it, they'll still quit. Like, they don't really care to be complimented about something in order to continue going. Like, I feel like that's something people say. Like, I don't know, but that's something I've heard. So I always kind of attributed it to that of like, oh yeah, it's because I'm a girl. Like, so even though I get good at a lot of different things, when my heart's not in it, I'm always quick to just be like, whatever, I don't need to do this. But now I'm thinking about it, I'm like, oh my God, what if that lack of, need to prove and competitiveness is not from being a girl, but is instead from being an only child and not feeling the need of seeking fulfillment through other people's praise. I'm like, oh my God, that makes actually a bit more sense to me than the previous assumption. I'm like, that's really interesting that she said that when I saw that on TikTok. I'm like, but now it's making me think, okay, what other things have I like attributed to my female chromosome or to my African upbringing or to my environment or my American upbringing or my multilingual upbringing, like all these other things that I attribute to all of those things that I never attribute to being an only child. I barely think of myself as an only child. Honestly, when people are like, yeah, only children are like this, I'm always like, yep, heard what they said about y'all. I never in my head think like, oh my God, they're talking about me, because like I said, I have siblings. Like, I'm just like, I got siblings. I don't know what they up to, because even when people like talk to me or meet me and stuff like that, they're always like, oh yeah, you don't give only child. Like, you're real, like, I don't know, like you're easy to like be around, and you're like, like sharing and giving and stuff, like, because they'll say like only children are stingy and like they don't know how to like get along with people and social cues and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I learned that stuff. Like, I'm good. Like, I don't I have people to call if something happens. Like, I'm good. But now I'm thinking like I did technically have that upbringing too. Like, it's not every day. I couldn't be constantly with my siblings. So I'm just like, oh my God, like what else am I not realizing? Like, creatively is due to my only child upbringing. I'm like, now I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe that's why too, I'm so like willing to, I don't know. I do feel like it does shape some of my perspective though, of why I'm able to have kind of an objective outlook on most subjects, because I don't take a lot of things personal. I know that like, I spent a lot of time as a child alone. I do think that part too of like, when you're a creative, you have to like lock in. You have to be okay with spending most of your time alone, because it's very disruptive to the creative process to be around other people. So I do feel like that is a part of the reason why I am so creative, is because I did spend so much time alone. So I did kind of get that time to sit down and really decide what my views on things are, rethink, things that happen to me throughout the day, emotionally regulate by myself. I didn't have constant emotional support from siblings of like, I'm upset, oh now everyone in the house knows, or I need attention right now because I'm bored, so let me go bother one of my siblings. Like, constantly, I didn't always have that. So I was able to kind of understand how to do all those things by myself, and like sit down and emotionally regulate by myself, and like use the time that I had when I wasn't feeling the best to figure out what things made me feel better, to be okay with the full version of myself, and not feel like I needed to hide certain parts. Because I do feel like when you're around other people constantly, you do kind of have to more have a presentation of yourself that I was able to kind of relinquish, because I got to have time alone where I was like, I didn't feel the need. Like, I'm alone. Like, I can do what I want when I'm alone. I can act the way I want. And there's no one constantly in my ears like, why are you doing this? Who are you doing that for? Like, there's no one like I can hear like, yeah, you didn't know that I used to do that. Like, if I didn't want people to know, they didn't have to know. I'm an only child. Like, if it's something I feel like personal or private, I'll just wait till I get home to do it. If it's something that it's too, personal to me, or like I feel like my emotions would be affected by other people's judgment of it, I could just wait till I was alone, and just do it then. So I do feel like my freedom and my creativity does probably come from being an only child. What else do I feel like my creativity is probably come from my only childisms. Oh yeah, that also that introspectiveness of like knowing like how to like take a moment and like just look through things completely and stuff, because I'm not looking at it subjectively of like, oh, but they did this to me, or like it's not always about me. I can just kind of like take a wider view and be like, what's the overall picture of what's going on here? Especially when I'm with my other siblings, because since they're constantly together, when I get there and like if some of them are arguing between each other, or if there's stuff going on, conflict, like, you know, I can kind of be conflict resolution. So kind of did make me too able to be a social kind of, you know, magnet, where I'm able to balance my sociability, because you know, I know that I'll have a minute to recharge when it's time. There is like a certain level of like, you know, being a sibling there, you kind of never get a chance to recharge your social battery. But because of that too, on the like opposite spectrum of it, it kind of did make me like need that time alone. Like now where it's like, if I'm with people constantly, or someone's around me or on me, or like trying to, I don't know, be in my space too much, I can't take it. Like I will lose my mind. Like I don't like constant always being, you know, around people. I always know in my head when I'm around people that I can be super nice. I can, you know, always just be super carefree. But I always know once time is ticking, it's time for me to go, because I can't be around you guys for this long, you know. And people who are always around people, they might have like a longer ability to be socially acceptable. But I know in my head, ooh, they're about to see the bad side of me. It's time for me to go. Like I'm about to start getting aggy and annoying. Like I remember when I was younger, every time like my friends would come to my house finally, like they would get to see me in my actual real own zone of my home, they would be like, oh my God, you're so different at your house. Like you act so different. Because usually when they see me, I'm like really like, you know, acting outgoing and like, you know, ready to talk and laugh and do whatever and be fun and stuff. But then when you see me at home, oh my God, I am like almost like a dead body. Like I don't move too much. I don't talk too much. Like literally I can be at home and not talk for hours. Like I won't speak. I won't do, like I literally would like as a kid just like read books and watch TV and like, cause like I said, I stopped playing with toys very early. What my pastimes were was reading, writing, watching TV. I was a TV fanatic. What's it called? What else would I do? Like, yeah, that was really most of what I do. Read books, watch TV, and like, I guess talk to my mom. Oh my God. Like, yeah, just those few things. And I wasn't even allowed to watch TV on the weekdays. So I only had 2 days to watch TV. Like Sunday doesn't count. Like Sunday's a weekday too when you're a kid. So it's like, I only had 2 days. I only had 2 days to watch TV. So it was like every other time I was like, if I had extra free time, like I said, I'm either in an activity, you know, clubs, camps, sports, Girl Scouts, things like that. Like, you know, those type of things. I'm either doing that. So then when I get home, it's kind of like sleep. Like I'm tired, you know, upkeeping my bedroom. You know, I would redecorate my bedroom a lot. That was one thing I would do. What else would I do? Yeah, I would just be doing me, honestly, but like very calm, very demure, not too much talking, a lot of lounging, you know, things of that nature. Very, very, very chill. So when they would come, they would always be like, wow, like, so this is what you do at home. You act so different. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm not who you thought I was. This is the real me, you know? So it's like, so I do think like that level of needing solitude that a creative has to take, of like, you know, you can't be in the mix all the time. You have to just sit down and really hone in on your craft if you want to get good at it. As a creative, that's going to be very important for you. So I think that that's why I'm able to take that route and be able to like hone in so well on being alone. I never get bothered if I'm not invited somewhere, if someone doesn't want me around. Like, I don't take stuff like that personal. Honestly, most times I rather kind of be alone than like be around people anyway. So I'm kind of really cool with, not always being a part of the mix, not always knowing what's going on with everybody, because I miss big gaps of things too with my siblings, of like there's might be a couple months on end where I didn't see them, so it's like I missed the big gap. So I'm kind of okay with not knowing everyone's storyline. You know how some people be mad and like, "Ooh, what's going on?" Yeah, no, that's not me. I don't really care. Like I don't really care what everyone's going on. So and so got what, so and so did what. I'm like, okay. Like, whatever. If they want to tell me, they can tell me. Like, I'm always an open ear, of course. Like, I'm always, like, willing to let people talk and vent and have their moment and let them shine and, all those kind of things. Like, if you have something to say, say it. But, like, if you also don't want to tell me and I don't get to know, kind of like, okay, when you're ready, it is what it is. So, I don't know. Those are just some things that are, like, off the top of my head that I realized after she said those little things, that I was like, oh my God, like, now she clocked me. I feel like exposed, like, don't caught me like Eve in the garden, like, Lord. But yeah, if you got to this point, you already know I really fuck with you. Like, you a real one. You sat there and really listened to me babble on, as I always do. So make sure that you guys are engaging with my channel, as I always tell you. Like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you do. Just do some sort of movement. I'm trying to build a community here of other creatives, and we can talk about things and subjects. If you're an only child, let me know. If you're not an only child, also let me know. If you have an opinion about only child, negative or positive, an unpopular opinion, whatever it is, I don't care. Obviously, I'm not going to take it personal. I really won't care. Because if I don't like it, I'll just be like, yeah, I got siblings, so yep, that's how they are. And if I do like it, be like, I see, I heard that one. So just say what you think. And then, and if you like it, and if I think of anything else about only children, or you like the only children subject, I'll be back with another one. But see you guys on my next video. Bye-bye. Attempting to get my attention. I don't like when you're acting too tempted. Relax, you don't need to be mentioned. You could be sent back at the entrance. I can tell you never seen a temptress. So cold, I decide what the temp is. I like when you talk cause you meant it. If I picked, I'm the one that I went with.